What's up, guys? If this is your first time on the channel, I want to say welcome. If this is not your first time on the channel, I want to say thank you so very much for coming back. Tonight, I just wanted to talk briefly about this really screaming deal of a mechanics tool cart. Now, what you're looking at is a US General 30-inch 5-drawer mechanics tool cart, sold by Harbor Freight. I'm not a professional mechanic. However, what I'm hearing is that even professional guys are going this route now. Super affordable. I've had this for a couple months. When I bought it, I can't remember if it was a coupon or if it was because I'm an Inside Track Club member. I don't remember which got me the deal that I got on it, but I only paid $189 for it out the door, which was, I mean, that's a unheard of type of deal for something like this. So now, full list price, $279.99. I went with the blue. However, Harbor Freight stock a ton of these things in, let's see, they have green, black, red, gray. I like blue, so I went with the blue. One thing I will say, extremely heavy, as you can imagine, but I didn't realize just how heavy it was going to be. I had assistance loading it at the store into the bed of my truck, but once I got home, I was on my own. What I ended up having to do was open up the box in the bed of my truck and take a lot of the parts for this thing back to the shed individually, unfortunately. Just remember that when you go to pick it up, if you can get a hand from a buddy or whoever to help you carry this thing back to wherever the hell you're going to keep it, probably be for the best. But if not, that's what worked for me, just opening it up. It took a little bit longer, but it all worked out in the end. The tool chest itself sits on top of these legs, which you'll see as we go down lower and lower as we go through the drawers. But what I ended up having to do was assemble it upside down. I had to flip this tool chest upside down and then slide the lower part of the frame here over top of it, bolt it in, and then very carefully right itself back up onto its wheels. It took a little bit of extra time and it was a little precarious at certain points, but everything worked out just fine, and now it's here and it's all loaded up and it's working phenomenally. So just how I set it up, in hindsight, I probably would have went with a little bit bigger of a cart because I really didn't anticipate having the amount of shit that I do. This is outstanding. I can't say enough good things about it. I recommend it to anybody who's considering getting a cart. Now the lid obviously closes. You can see these gas struts right here. It does lock, but it has these punch outs on the side here, so you can put some longer tools through, and they will they'll hang down by the side. So I'll just show you what I have. Just some various files of different diameters, screwdriver, scissors, a couple wire brushes, flat file, and then a large breaker bar. On this side, more screwdrivers, ratcheting screwdriver, and then in front of that I'll keep all of its bits and attachments. This Klein 7-in-1 hex driver thing, I don't know, it was a big fucking waste of money and I never should have bought it. I never use it, so that's where it lives. Nitrile gloves, shop towels, microfiber towels, notebook, one of those magnetic parts tray things, telescopic magnet, some razors right here. And then otherwise, I like to keep this thing clean. I don't like a lot of shit on it because if there's anything specific that I'd like to work on that has a lot of small parts that can easily get lost, I'd like to have a place to do that that's completely boxed in so nothing's going to disappear on me. And this has served that purpose really well. It also comes with that non-slip material, which you can see on camera. That comes with it. You don't have to buy it, not only in this top section, but as well as in each drawer. Now this top real skinny drawer, this is for a lot of niche type of stuff. A lot of Allen key sets in here, random Allen keys that have come with things in the past. I just like to hang on to them because I found they can be pretty useful. Some fine files for chainsaw sharpening, the guide for chainsaw sharpening, electrical testers, multimeter, angle finder, caliper, scan tool, 18650 batteries, 18650 charger, random cables of various kinds, tire pressure gauge, stuff like that. That's where this lives, and so when I need it, I can find it. But as you can see, this drawer filled up very quickly. Next, let's equate this to, I don't know, the junk drawer of your house. In here we have zip ties, we have a assortments of nuts, bolts, washers, screws, electrical connector assortments, foam brushes, squeegees, pigment powders for epoxy resin, 1/4-inch cable, just a lot of random shit like that. That's where this lives. Moving down a drawer, this is where the wrenches live. So, well, as well as ratchet drives, so 1/2-inch, 3/8, 1/4-inch drive, some random wrenches for the routers, and then here we have metric, standard, and then over here we have metric and standard as well. However, this side has ratcheting box ends. So this side, these standard that don't ratchet, these are made by Duralast. I like Duralast. I think they were my first real introduction into a higher quality tool, if you want to call it that. I like their lifetime warranty. These, on the other hand, these ratcheting ones are actually made by Husky, and I just saw a deal on the set that I couldn't pass up at Home Depot, so I picked them up, and they've been great. They really have. I mean, I don't use them professionally. We've already established that. So for a homeowner like me, these things are really great. They've served their purpose very well, and I don't regret buying them for 1 second. Before we move on too quickly, let's move up here to this. This is where all the sockets are. Now, I just got some of those socket rails at Harbor Freight. They were very cheap. I think they were a couple bucks a piece. And we have 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 1/2-inch drives for these sockets, and then they go from metric, and then the further back you get, they become standard. So very easy to find what you need. They're easily identified with some painter's tape and Sharpie marker, so it's really high quality. And then the spark plug sockets, those just live up top there. Now, for the larger drawer here, we have all of our pliers and nippers on this little Harbor Freight dish drying rack. Not actually a dish drying rack, but that's what it reminds me of. And one thing I will say, I know I really love Duralast tools, but Icon has really been coming out with some awesome shit lately. And I bought a few pairs of Icon pliers. The only ones I can't seem to find are those 9-inch slip joints that everybody's on the hunt for. But in any case, we have the Icon wire strippers. Then I did get a set of the needle-nose pliers. It's just not the slip joint. And then the adjustable parrot mouth. Then we have some Milwaukee channel locks here. And then the very, very large pair of Duralast adjustable channel lock. These are massive. Let's see what else we have. These diagonal cutters from Quinn. Had a coupon, knocked it down from $8 to $4.99. And I use these for one thing and one thing only, and that's to cut zip ties. So they're perfect for that. Then a small pair of adjustable channel locks. And my saving grace at times, my Duralast vice grips. These are just fucking awesome. These are such a good tool. I've had these for so long, and they just keep plugging away. So then in here we have a chisel and punch set, and that's right, folks. Another Harbor Freight special coupon, $13 for a guy like me who doesn't use cold chisels and punches all that often. Pretty good investment. We have a brake caliper tool, oil filter wrench, different extensions, some impact rated, some not, and then some adapters to bring it from 3/8 to 1/4-inch or 1/2-inch to 3/8 or whatever. That's where you'll find that stuff. And then these brass pocket planes. These are really, really cool. Maybe I'll go over these a little bit more next time we actually build like a woodworking type project, because these can be really, really helpful. But so some brass pocket planes. This Duralast set. Now this is strictly 1/4-inch. Nice set of tools that I got actually as a birthday gift years ago, and taking good care of them. And this is just this is a sweetie of a little set of tools right there. So, but it's only 1/4-inch, so it's a little bit limited in what it can do. Shitty set of screwdrivers that all look like this, so we're not going to open it up because they're just fucking junk. The old tried and true trusty right here, the Gorilla Glue Gun. Can't go wrong. I've had it for years. But I replaced that with the Ryobi 18 plus, whatever the hell it is, a cordless glue gun. So, but I keep that thing just in case the cordless one ever shits out. Now at the bottom, you'll probably see pretty much everything that's in there. Just jack stands, wheel chocks, torque wrench, some different attachments for the shop vac. And then these right here, they're light tire chains, but they're not in the fact that they don't actually go on the tire. They're laid out in front or behind the tire, depending on which direction you're trying to go. and they kind of just give you some extra traction if you're in a bit of a jam. And now to wrap up the tour of this tool cart, we have this tray. It's on the side here. I keep just various lubricants and stuff like that in it. This little oiler right here is filled with Ballistol. Ballistol is my preferred product for cleaning, lubricating, and protecting metal. Then we have tool oil and PB Blaster silicone spray, bar sprocket oil, bar oil, high temp gasket maker, graphite grease, anti-seize, brake pin lubricant, just any niche lubricants and stuff like that. I just keep it in that side tray. And then you can see here how this stuff is protruding through, like we talked about initially in the beginning of the video. You can keep a lot of those longer tools in those punch outs. And then it has this little cavity here for them to sit down into. So it's a nice little thing to have. And with that, we will wrap up this video. Like I said in the beginning, I can't recommend this cart enough for those of you considering a mechanics cart for organization in your shop or garage or wherever, whatever you need it for. I really think this US General 30-inch 5-drawer mechanics tool cart is just an absolute steal. Such a great value for money. As always, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I know there's a million videos that you could have clicked on, but you clicked on this one, and it does mean a lot to me. See you later.